We're now in Dcad lesson 13G, and we're continuing with drawing organization and sheet notes. I'm looking at the wall bracing plan and noticing that I had left the braced wall line designations in blue. So this gives us an opportunity to actually explore the selection filter. So over here in my RV Tools toolbox, when you go over to this little kind of an interesting looking icon, it's a selection filter. You click on that and it gives you different options for filtering your selection. So these guys are this darker blue, and that's this darker blue. Let me scroll down just a little bit. This darker blue right here. So if you can select by color, entity type, entity type, anything that's in the drawing, you can activate that, pull that over into this right-hand window, and that becomes part of the filter for selection. You can select by layer, line type, all kinds of different things. So, for color, I'm going to click on this blue and then add it over here to the right-hand side. So now, anything that it will only select things that are that color. So, as long as this is in this right-hand side, as long as the selection filter is up, okay? The selection filter dialog. So I'm going to go ahead now and just select this guy, and you can see that it's only selected those blue items. So I can go ahead and remove this now and then close this, and what I want to do is I just want to turn all these guys black, and right now our current color is black. So if I go over here to the color applied to selection, the A, I click on that and then just click somewhere, and see they've all turned black. It's really pretty handy. So the selection filter is one of those items that you'll find yourself using fairly often. So I'm going to save right now. So now what I want to do is I have this area somewhat vacant up here, and I'm going to import an eave venting detail. And so, because I have this room and I might as well use it. So, in order to do that, the first thing I want to do is I'm going to go hit L for layers. And I want to go down to, and just scroll down to layer, actually it went a little too far, layer 90. And I'm going to make that my current active layer. And I want to change the name here, use the arrow to arrow over, and I'm just going to type Eve Vent. And then space, and then I'll leave the det for detail 1 designation, and I'm going to also open up layer 91, which is the text layer for that detail, and now I can click OK. And the reason I wanted to open up layer 90 because when I save symbols, usually when I'm creating symbols, I will save them in layer 0. And if a symbol is saved in layer 0, when you import it, it'll import into whatever layer is your current active layer. So I'm going to go out of the orthogonal mode. I don't need that right now. And I'm going to hit Control F9. And that opens up the load symbol dialog. And this one usually will go to one of the symbols folders in this primary symbols folder. And so I know my detail is Eve Vent or something to that effect, and it starts with an E, and this is alphanumeric, so I'm just going to scroll down to, at least that's the way it's arranged at this point in time. You can change that, date modified or whatever. But I'm going to scroll on down until I get to E's. There's D's, there we are, Eve Vent 1. That sounds like I'm going to click on it one time, and sure enough, over here you can see that that's what we're looking for. So I'm going to click Open, and it's kind of big. So I'm going to scroll over here a little bit and just left click to park it over here. And you can see that it's a symbol because the only points you see are at the corners, the extremities of the symbol. So I'm going to go ahead over here and in my selection explode and explode it. Boom. Okay. So now you can see all the various points within the symbol. Now I'm going to hit Escape to unselect everything, and I'm going to zoom up on this guy. And this particular symbol for eventing deals with both 2x6 top chord trusses or 2x6 rafters and 2x4. So since our trusses are 2x4 top chord trusses, I can go ahead and select all this upper portion, the 2x6 portion, highlight it, select it, and delete. And I can also delete this notation for 2x4 because I know what it is, and hit delete for that. And then the detail number, you can see that it's red, so that means that's something I need to address. So I'm going to go ahead and just select that and go over here and to my info box and activate the info box, and I'm going to change it, and you can see right here it says it's red. I'm going to select the XX and make that 1. That's detail 1 for this sheet. And then I'm going to go over here to the apply, color apply to selection, and because it's black, and turn that 1 to black, and there we have it. There's our symbol for the events. This is something I worked out with engineer friends of mine, and we actually included the actual how many square inches of venting each one of these provides, so it makes it a lot easier for the code officials or whoever doing the plans review to make sure that we have the adequate venting. So, and typically with a canned detail like this, a lot of times I won't actually use sheet notes, because most of the notes are already in the detail, so there's no point in doing that. So I'm going to select this whole thing and hit Control W to zoom out, and I'm going to hit M for move, and stick this guy right up about here somewhere, and click it in. And so now we have our detail all set, and that detail actually is referred to in one of our sheet notes up here. If I can find it, and let's see, where is it? Lots of notes. Here we are, and it's detail 1 A2, because this is our A2 sheet. So I'm hit Control W, and so we have our detail in, and that concludes Dcad lesson 13G, and we'll be continuing on with additional drawing organization and sheet notes. But one thing I'm looking at right now, and I want to deal with, we're going to go back and actually do some repair. And what I'm looking at is when I calced out this glulam beam, I realized at the time that it had pretty good point loads at each end. And so, where the header's spanning across here. And yet, I'm not showing any enlarged footings or post designations in here. So that's something that we're going to want to deal with in the next lesson. Both designating the post sizes and basically the trimmers supporting the garage door header, and also the footing sizes and the reinforcing call out for them, and we'll need to put them actually into this drawing. So we'll deal with that in our next lesson. And so this concludes Dcad lesson 13G.